We are live. Hi, how's everybody doing? My name is BYS.
And my name is Trigger.
We are back with episode 20 of Strictly Sports.
Big
How you doing,
two
Trigger?
zero.
Big
I'm excellent,
2020.
excellent, my brother. Finally healthy again. How about yourself?
Same, brother. Good, healthy. Hopefully past the sickness and everything like that. Oh, we made it, brother. Oh, you probably can't see it. It said we live on YouTube right now. It said we live on YouTube.
There we go.
But yeah, bruh, it's yeah, like you said, sickness, everything. Ready for all that to be passed, ready for all that to be done. So other than that, I'm here.
Yep. I second that.
So we were waiting on Miles, but we're gonna get into it. Super Bowl recap. What you thought? What's your opinion?
Yeah, man. It was a good game. It started off a little slow. I don't think both teams had good defenses coming in, but I was still expecting some scoring.
Yeah,
But it was a defensive battle, man. I mean, really was a defensive battle for a majority of the game there. The Chiefs never really looked settled like they had been looking throughout the playoff run. Um, the 49ers, same thing. They were doing some things that were a little uncharacteristic, like Christian McCaffrey with that fumble deep in, they're
yeah,
getting ready to score, and the ball pops out, and the Chiefs jump on it. Trent Williams getting back-to-back penalties, like the star left tackle getting a pre-snap penalty, a false start penalty, and in the very next play, it's a holding call, backs him
yep,
up another 10 yards. So that was a little uncharacteristic. So I don't know if it was like Super Bowl jitters for both teams because we saw Pacheco fumbled deep in the Chiefs.
yeah,
They're getting ready to score. They fumbled, almost in the same spot McCaffrey did. So we kind of saw both teams. Mahomes threw the pick. Um, both teams kind of struggled a little bit, turned the ball over a little bit, and it just never really felt like one team really took hold of the game until the Chiefs did late in that game. It's like the game was tied, it was coming down to the wire, and you saw the championship mentality, the pedigree of the Kansas City Chiefs just come to life. And Patrick Mahomes led a drive at the end of that fourth quarter um, for the field goal and an overtime. After the Niners kicked the field goal, the Chiefs got the ball back and they went down. And you could tell the mentality was we're going to score a touchdown.
yep,
They're driving the ball. Travis Kelsey made some big catches on that last drive. And then, McCole Hardman, a guy who wasn't even a Chief to start the season, used to play with Kansas City, ended up with the Jets, and then he came back to Kansas City, ends up catching the game-winning touchdown pass. What a story for him. So I think the big difference in that game, man, it was something that I was preaching before the playoffs even started. When we knew who all was going to be in there, and I said, everybody, make sure y'all watch Kansas City because out of all the teams that are in there, they are the most experienced. They've been there, done that. The road's going to be a little different for them this year, but
yep,
they still got that championship pedigree. So, you know, watch them. And damn it, if it didn't come to life in that Super Bowl at the end there when they absolutely had to have a drive. They put together two, hit the
yep,
field goal to tie it, to put it in overtime. And they came back in overtime after the 49ers went down and kicked the field goal. And they went down on a beautiful drive, scored a touchdown and won the game, man. And I just think that, that's the Chiefs right there. That's what they do. And they live up to the moments. They perform when the lights are the brightest, and they deliver. They constantly deliver, and they do this. It must be great to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I can imagine, like,
my uncle a KC fan, but
you
I
know,
watched him go through all the old like Trent Greens, Priest Holmes, all the old school Kansas City. Like I texted him, I was like, man, I watched you go through all the bad. You deserve seeing this. What 3 and 5 years?
yeah, or 6 years,
Yeah,
I guess
6
technically, because
years.
they went
Yeah,
to
technically, yep.
they, there's six AFC Championship games. They've been to four Super Bowls and won three of
So
them.
they earned it this year. They truly had to
This
earn it
this
this year.
I probably have to say out of all the years, the three Super Bowls that they won, this was probably the hardest road that they went down.
Yep,
Because for the first time, they had to go on the road. They didn't
yep,
have home field advantage like they did in the past, and they had to go not only on the road, but they had to go to some tough places, to Buffalo and to Baltimore. And they went to Baltimore, didn't even score a point in the second half, and they still came out victorious in that game.
Where did they go first? They went to Buffalo, Baltimore, and
Oh
they
no,
was at
they
home
did
first,
have one
right?
home game. They had one home game against
They was
Miami.
so they went through Miami,
Yeah, Miami
Buffalo,
came.
and Baltimore, and San Francisco.
Yep, Miami came to Kansas City. That was the only home game they had. They won that game, and they went to Buffalo the following week. Won that game. They went to Baltimore. Won that game. And they
What's
go to the
going
Super
on? What's
Bowl, and they
going
knock
on?
off the 49ers. So yeah, they definitely had the toughest road I think that they've ever had, and compared to the years past. And they went out there and they absolutely earned that championship. So hats off to that boy Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
That defense, that defense, that defense, that defense.
Steve Spagnuolo. Why he in the head
They
coach somewhere?
hey, hell of a job on all fronts on going out and winning that. And I told y'all, my dark horse team in the AFC was the Kansas City Chiefs. And everybody was on the Texans and the Browns and what they were doing. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson having an MVP year. Josh Allen and the Bills are like they finally got their stuff together. Miami, a team that could, surprise some people. Nobody was really talking about Kansas City because they didn't have one of their typical Kansas City years. They were 11-6. And half of
Yep.
them losses, if their receivers catch the ball, they probably finish the season 14-3. And that puts them up there, number one seed again. Everything goes through Arrowhead. But that wasn't the case this year. They had a down year at 11-6, and they went and ran the table and ended up winning the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, they are a dangerous team, and that's all I said, man. If their receivers just catch the ball, whole different team.
What's up, Lady Ray? How you doing? What's
Lady
up, Moss?
Ray,
How you doing, baby? How you doing, brother?
big malls, big mouths, malls, mouths.
Miles.
Can y'all
Black and
hear
I.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all was breaking up my phone. I just got home.
You good, brother? How you doing? How you feeling? Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Barely.
Hold on. Can you hear me now? Hold on. Can you hear me, Trigger?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me now? Uh-oh. Technical
All back
difficulties.
in.
So you were on the Chiefs. Trigger was on the Chiefs. I mean, it's hard to bet against Pat
Yeah, you
Mahomes.
can't go against Pat Mahomes. And Brock
I
Purdy
mean,
didn't play terrible.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
he did okay. He didn't turn the ball over. He was efficient. He threw for like 250, 60 yards, something like that. So you can't really ask too much more of him, I guess. But then you look at the stat sheet, man, and like their receivers, like Debo, IU, Kittle, they probably had like 5 catches between the three of them.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, Chris McCaffrey led the team in rushing and receiving.
Well,
That
I
one
was
touchdown
listening to him
pass that
talk.
he had. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just listening to him talk. They're saying that George Kittle had to stay in a little bit more because of that right side of that line is not good at all. And we saw Chris Jones just wreak havoc on it. But
He saved Kansas City a couple of touchdowns
yeah,
just
especially on
by
that third
like
down.
he didn't sack Brock Purdy, but the fact that he was right there in his lap forced him to throw the ball way sooner than he wanted to, which led to him being off the mark because he had Debo Samuel in the end zone on I think it was that same 3rd and 5 you were
Hmm.
talking about, and he never could make the connection because Chris Jones just blew it up. And
Yep.
Chris Jones did that a couple times that night, and he really made some plays there that saved. Like it won't go down on the stat sheet, but it definitely saved Kansas City a couple of times when he did that. But those type of plays you got to make, man. When you're, a star defensive player like that, that's what we want to see in the Super Bowl, man.
Right.
Michael Parsons, you taking notes. Marcus Lawrence, did y'all see that? That's what I need from y'all now.
Nah, Trey, they too tired. They need snacks.
Yeah, they tired. They didn't have plenty of rest. They've been resting since what, the 13th of January?
Right. No, but that's
And
what
they get
DeMarcus Lawrence said. He said they didn't have any legs in that playoff game.
Well, they better get some damn legs.
how you gonna make it to the Super Bowl? You don't got legs in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
you got to play. You ain't got legs in the wild card round. How the hell are you gonna make it to the Super Bowl?
Well, they ain't. That's his way of saying they ain't.
I was
They did exactly what they needed to do: play one and go home, so they can rest.
let's get your recap on the Super Bowl before we move on. Booby. Booby
Uh,
Miles.
you know, you love him, I hate him. Mahomes is that guy.
My homeboy.
Uh, first let's give Kansas City defense the credit. Their defense pretty
Yeah.
much carried them throughout the whole season. They were second in total defense, second in scoring points. 49ers was driving the first drive. I think it was the first drive when McCaffrey fumbled.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Mahomes threw that interception deep into their territory, I think
Yeah.
the Chiefs had them to a field goal. So let's give the defense some credit as due. It was a defensive struggle in the first half, and then I knew in Kansas City they was gonna make adjustments. That's Andy Reid's specialty. He is an adjustment. He is one of the best when it comes to second half adjustments. And they just could not find a way to stop Mahomes throwing or
Yeah.
running.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I did
I think.
not, win overtime. I did not know the new overtime rules. I'm screaming like, "Yo, the clock is about to run out. Y'all need to run the play." I did not know it ends when Kansas City possession is. But yeah, Mahomes. I can't put him as the GOAT. I don't even put him greater than Joe Montana. But he's definitely the best quarterback in the NFL, and there's no close second.
Right
But
now?
let's stop this talk with Josh Allen, Joe Burrow,
Oh,
Lamar Jackson. Nah, it ain't close.
No, yeah, definitely with Lamar and Josh Allen. Joe Burrow, he's been injured, so I would like to see him play a full season at full strength. His guys are healthy, and see what happens. But I probably put him as the next best, natural, talented, like game changing quarterback after Mahomes. I think he has that ability. We just got to see him put together a full season, healthy, and then
Yeah, I
we can
like that.
revisit.
I mean,
We
he
can
is.
revisit the conversation.
he is the only person that took Patty out. Him and Brady, the only person that
Yeah,
Yeah.
then took Patty out in the Super Bowl.
I think
yep.
he has
Only
a
two
winning
talks.
record against Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes
Yeah.
only beat him one time, and that was last year's playoffs.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but like you said, Trey, I mean, he's missed what 2 full seasons now.
Just
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yep.
I
but then
like
the
to
other
see
two
him.
seasons, he was in the Super Bowl and AFC Championship. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he's fully healthy, he got that ability to get there too. So
yeah,
yeah, if if they got players around him, if they got a good offensive line, which I know that was an issue because he was getting sacked. I think he was the most sacked quarterback in the league that 1 year. I mean, it was just ridiculous how much he was getting hit.
And still
The
went to
offensive
Super Bowl.
line, yeah, and still with the Super Bowl. Yeah,
Still
right.
went to Super Bowl.
So the
And
offensive
almost
line
won it.
protects him. Offensive line protects him. He got his receivers. Jamar Chase stays healthy. T. Higgins, they bring him back. I know he's a free agent this offseason, but I think
Hey
he
man,
wants to
Tyler
come back.
Boyd.
Tyler Boyd, I mean, they have a really good trio of receivers. Joe Mixon, that running back, I think he's a pretty decent back. And the defense, if they can just be above average, they'll be right there in the thick of things the following season. The Ravens are going to look different next year due to free agency. They're projecting a lot of guys to go elsewhere. Um, the Steelers, I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin will have them competing. Right now, their biggest answer is what they're going to do at quarterback.
They just
right.
released
The
Mitch
biggest
Trubisky.
the biggest question is going to be what they do at quarterback. And yeah, I did see that they released Trubisky. Um, and then the Browns, is Deshaun Watson going to be healthy? How's that team going to look? There's going to be pressure on him to perform after the way the team went after
Hmm.
he went down.
Yeah, and you
So
got to remember with the Browns, that defense ain't gonna be that spectacular. They were spectacular this year. It's gonna be kind of hard to.
yeah, it's always hard to repeat your defensive success.
Yeah,
It's very rare that teams do, back to back to back years where they have top defensive stats. It's not. It's very rare in the NFL that you keep the same group of guys together to do that. Coaches, they leave and get other jobs. Players leave in free agency.
uh,
Uh, a lot of things change, so it's hard to keep that consistency.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
But
we'll see. I think the AFC North will be competitive next year if everybody's healthy. Deshaun Watson and Joe Burrow specifically. The Ravens, they'll even though they'll look different, I still think that they'll be competitive. Obviously, Lamar Jackson will have a chip on his shoulder. I know he hears the talks about him choking in the playoffs, and he wants to right
as he
that
should.
wrong. Yeah, he wants to right. He's gonna want to right that wrong. So, uh, but yeah, I think the
I,
AFC North's gonna be tough next year.
And can we stop this? Uh, We're not supposed to criticize Lamar Jackson because he's black. Can we stop
I
that?
don't get I don't get how he gets less criticism than Dak.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's for me, he's the same as Dak. He's a
Well, he
regular
should be
season
more than
hero
that.
and
He's
in
a
the playoffs.
two-time MVP.
Yeah,
He's won
two-time
more, yeah,
MVP.
two-time MVP, and I think he's won maybe one more playoff game than Dak has.
Yeah,
No, they're both two and no. Lamar's 2-4 and Dak's 2-5.
Yeah, so I mean, the record overall is still a little bit better. He's played in more playoff games.
Well, yeah.
At least
Well,
he's been
yeah.
to that. He's been to his conference championship game, to say the least.
that is true.
Well, yeah.
That is
So
true.
he does have that over Dak. But as far as like their success and like or lack of success in big moments, they're the same.
Hmm.
They're about the same. So, I love both quarterbacks. I think they both have potential to be really good. I think that they can get their teams to the promised land. I think if Lamar Jackson had some more weapons around us, I think Dak has better weapons than he does because Lamar has never really had a true, like,
CD
who's been his
Lamb
number
type.
one receiver since he's been, you know,
Well, can I
in
can
his
I
MVP
Mark
season?
Andrews. He got
can I
Mark
say something
Andrews.
about that
Yeah,
though?
he's a tight end.
I think
That's
the
been his
reason
number one
why is
target.
because Lamar, the Ravens' offense is not predicated on the pass. It's more of a
Yeah,
run-based offense. So a lot of top receivers don't want to go there.
That's true. Yeah,
he could
I
get
remember.
Hollywood. He could get Hollywood Brown back this offseason, so it could get some
Yeah,
familiarity right there.
I do remember mentioning something like that a while back. Maybe not on this show, but I remember having a conversation with somebody saying that yeah, the Ravens are very a run heavy team, and I know there were a slew of free agent wide receivers that I was like, yeah, they probably ain't gonna want to go there because they run the ball too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's time for Harbaugh to kind of change the scheme a little bit and make it more of a passing team, or maybe they don't think Lamar is the passer that a lot of people don't think Lamar is a great passer, but maybe the Ravens think that, and that's why they're so predicated on running the football so much. So I don't know. I think Lamar has improved as a passer, and he can throw the ball. I don't see him as a guy like an Aaron Rodgers or a Brett Favre or somebody who's going to be airing it out like 50, 60 yards down the field trying to get behind the defense. But he can definitely throw through tight windows and hit guys 10, 15 yards down the field. And that's really all you need. I mean, you don't need him to do much more than that. He's gonna use his legs a little bit. Um, but I think if he had some better receivers, if they can stay healthy at running back, 'cause I feel like every year they lose a running back to a
Yeah.
devastating injury for whatever reason. They can get a solid running back. I know Derrick Henry's rumored to possibly be in the mix for Baltimore to
I heard he
sign
was
in
training in
free agency.
Dallas. I heard Derrick
Oh
Henry
yeah,
down there
he
training in
does.
Dallas.
Well, let me tell you something about that. Anytime a player has a house in Dallas, they train in Dallas or whatever, they're a free agent. That's where they go, anywhere but Dallas. So Derrick Henry's probably going to end up being in Baltimore or Philly. There's rumors that Philly's interested, and DeAndre Swift's going to ask for too much money, so they're going to let him walk, and they're going to probably sign Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's going to be more of a bargain because of his age and the
Right.
mileage on his body. So don't be surprised if Derrick Henry ends up in Philly or in Baltimore. Those are the top two teams. Would we love to have him? Well, would I love to have him in Dallas? Absolutely. I mean, it makes too much sense. But is Dallas going to do it? Probably not, because it makes too much sense.
Yeah.
When have we seen Dallas do things that make sense? Not never. So this is going to be another one. Another guy who trains in Dallas in the off season, has a house in Dallas, who's right there by the facility, and he's going to end up somewhere on the East Coast. Watch what I tell you.
Now speaking on Dallas, y'all got some big
Well,
decisions
hold
coming
on.
up.
I want to talk about
Oh,
San Francisco.
go to San Fran.
Kyle Shanahan. It's about time to start criticizing him. That's three
No,
straight.
Yes.
That's three Super
no,
Bowls now.
Yes.
no.
Yeah. I'm
He's.
gonna tell you why.
I listened to it today. He's early. Andy Reid. Andy Reid's was I couldn't win the big game either. And then he got Patrick Mahomes.
All right, and then
Right.
didn't Philly fire Andy Reid?
Yeah,
All right.
but I mean he did lose
Honestly,
28-3.
me personally, I wouldn't do
I'm gonna
it
tell.
because
But
yes,
look
he
who he
didn't win the
lost
big
to.
one,
Look,
but
look.
he did
He
win a
lost to
big
Brady and he
game.
lost to Patrick Mahomes twice. So you got to give him a little.
Yeah, but at the same
But I
time, though, the
mean, but
49ers
Brett,
have went to how many NFC Championship games in the last few years?
yeah,
They'd have
but
been
this is
all
their
of them.
fourth straight.
They'd have been all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
But John
Kyle
Harbaugh couldn't
Shanahan,
do it either, though. Is it just a 49ers curse, maybe?
But here's the
Because he
might
went
thing.
be.
three
Here's
I
the
don't
straight
thing
know.
too, didn't
about
he?
here's the thing about your argument, Brandon. You said he lost to Brady and Mahomes. When you're in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, those are the type of quarterbacks you're gonna play.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
That's
play
true.
Remington Jennings in the
The
Super
Brady
Bowl.
one is the one that really, the really. Did you
they
say who you?
they they never
What
they
name
shouldn't
did you
have
say?
lost that game. I give
What
losing
name
to
did you
Patrick
say?
Mahomes twice, but you can't lose that game. You up 28-3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know he
They
wants
should have
the
lost
head
the game
coach.
Sunday.
I know he wants the head coach, but still, I mean, he's a part of 2 overtime games in the Super Bowl. One is offensive coordinator, and we just saw him as the head coach. And then the other game, he's head coach. In all 3 games that he was associated with, his team was up double digits at one point in those games, and he
Hmm.
lost all 3 of them. So it's like, yeah, Kyle Shanahan, I still think he's a great coach, but you gotta win one, man. You gotta do it sooner or
I
later.
saw they was gonna try to blame Steve Wilkes a little bit, but they said they're not the type of people to scapegoat. I was reading an article and they said, but
I
do
mean,
you
I don't
blame
know why
Steve
would they
Wilkes,
blame him. Their defense, I think the defense played pretty well.
They
especially when
did.
Jerry Greenlaw went down?
Yeah,
Neither
and then that
offense.
freak injury with Drake Greenlaw, I mean, that was just a freak accident.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both teams struggled offensively because the defenses were playing really, really well.
Yeah.
So
It's just when you keep giving Mahomes chance after chance after chance.
and he was running
again,
that ball. Patrick Mahomes was
yeah,
getting busy.
he had rushed for about I think 60 something yards, and I'm like, he used his legs when he absolutely needed to. It's like when they were struggling to find things down the field, he would take off and just run, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, oh man, simple, simple. Like that fourth down play they had in overtime, 4th and 1, right?
Yeah.
And they snapped the ball, and I mean he just took it, and you just knew. You just knew Travis Kelsey went out in the flat, covered. It was like a run pass option that they called. And Mahomes saw him pick it up early, and he saw the hole, and he just ran, picked up like 15, 20
Well,
yards.
yeah,
I'm just
because
like,
if you look at that play, Scantling was wide open, but it's 4 for 1. Do you trust him?
Yeah,
Because if he drop it,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
that's
got
game.
that,
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
ball
Because
game.
that would have been in the game, and you know what the storyline would have been. Kansas City receivers couldn't catch the ball, and it cost
Mhm.
them. So I think he made an absolute great decision to keep it and run and just pick up that yard and then keep the drive going. And
Mhm.
and it was nice to see because I think they called a timeout beforehand to see what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I mean, it was a great decision by Mahomes, and he made it right away. It was like it was instant, just took off, and they ended up going down and winning the game after that. So yeah, great drive, and that fourth down conversion was huge, and that pretty much right there, it just picked it up so easily, and
Mhm.
he didn't get touched until after about he gained about 10 yards. So that just pretty much set it up right there. You already knew what was about to happen. They're about to go down and put this
Oh
thing in the
yeah,
end zone.
oh yeah.
Then
So
hit,
I got a question
hit
for
Kelsey
y'all.
on that 3rd and 7. He's about to run that in too.
I got a question for y'all. So I think we all agree Brady is still the GOAT, right?
Yes.
What does Mahomes have to do to take over that GOAT status? Me,
Win.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I think if he wins next year, he three-peats, automatic. If he has a perfect season, I think automatic. Any of those two
yeah,
things,
yeah. Well,
if
he gonna
that,
need.
or he's gonna have to win 7.
He gonna have to get 7. He gonna still have to win 7 Super Bowls, but I
I
don't.
think if he wins it next year, I put him in GOAT status because no one's ever three-peated before.
I get you with that one, but I think it's gonna be like LeBron Jordan debate, and I think that's what the NFL is setting up right now. Unintentionally, it's gonna be your LeBron and Jordan moment. Like so, LeBron and won all over the place. Jordan, he what? Jordan three-peated, right? I can't remember.
He
Yeah, he
repeated
three-peated
twice.
twice.
Twice. So it's
But here's the thing, though. Kobe and Shaq three-peated. So in the NBA, the
that is
three-peat
true.
is kind of
That's
tainted, where
true.
in NFL,
Yeah,
nobody's done it.
Yeah, it's harder to do with football.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's gonna three-peat next year.
I didn't think they was gonna win the after seeing them on Christmas Day. I didn't think they would get out the first round.
But yeah, I did. When I watched that Miami, Kansas City game, I was like, ooh. When they didn't score at all in the second half, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, they had a
But
couple of games where they didn't score in the second half of the season, including the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. Like you could look at it either way and be like, "Oh, Kansas City didn't score in the second half and they still won." Like, man, that's crazy. Or you could be like, "Man, they didn't score at all the
the
second
second
half
half
and
is still
they
won.
still won." Like,
Still won.
And
not a
and,
good
and
sign.
and here's the thing
Depends on how
about
you look at it.
Mahomes that different from Lamar. Players will take a discount to play for Mahomes.
Mahomes taking a discount too. I don't know if
Yeah,
y'all
he
heard
was.
that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hell, his contract. I mean, he's making what 60 million a year. Fuck, you can
Yeah,
take a goddamn discount. But I think play a lot of play like the wide receiver position. You're gonna have a lot of wide receivers that's gonna want to go to Kansas City.
Might
and this
happen.
draft is full too. I think the Ravens get them a wide receiver this draft in
Yeah,
the first round. It's a lot of receivers in free agency, like y'all said, and the
yeah.
draft. It's
And if you think about the defensive side, other than Chris Jones, everybody else is still not making a lot of money.
And Chris Jones gonna be a free agent. They got to get him
Yeah.
back.
And they
Yeah, I
got
think
to pay.
Chris
They got to pay
Chris
McDuffie
Jones
some money, but
Yeah.
right now
McDuffie
he's still
played
on
his
the
ass off in that game too. By the way,
huh?
Hey, that
McDuffie.
blitz when Karlaftis went to
He
the right and
played
he came
well.
on the inside.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
I don't know, Brandon. I think Kansas City's gonna be tough for the next couple of years.
well,
Will he
that
get
defense.
7? I don't know, but I think he can get 5 or 6.
The only
If
thing I
they
think is tough because the AFC is at full power.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna have to battle them quarterbacks because you think about the AFC. Who they got? They got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, uh, Lamar Jackson,
Lamar Jackson,
C.J. Stroud,
Deshaun,
AR coming
Deshaun
back next year,
Watson,
Trevor
he coming
Lawrence,
back healthy.
Deshaun Watson.
All right.
Uh,
I don't
Justin
trust
Herbert
Trevor Lawrence.
under
I don't
Jim
trust
Harbaugh.
AR. Josh Allen,
Tua,
he is who he is.
Justin Herbert under Jim Harbaugh.
Justin Herbert,
Mm-mm.
and Jim
That's
Harbaugh.
waiting to see. Tua can't play in the cold.
They saying Russ may stay in Denver too.
I mean, we'll see. We'll
He
see.
said they say he open to taking a discount now.
We'll see.
But I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree with you. Patrick, I think he can get at least 5.
yeah,
I
Yeah, I
think he
think
can
he'll
get at
get
least 5.
5.
I
yeah.
think he can get at least.
But I say next year, if he wins it next year,
Queen,
you got to put him in the GOAT category.
Yeah,
Queen.
at
That's
least in the
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You gotta.
Or if he doesn't three-peat, like let's say 4 years down the road, he has a perfect season. I will automatically because
so
that's
night
stuff
night.
no one's ever done before,
Right. And
and
it's gonna
it'll
be a
be even
17 game
tougher
season.
because now you got an extra game.
Yep.
High five. Found it. Thank
But,
you.
but yeah, San
But yeah.
Francisco, man, I don't know their salary cap situation, but I think they'll be back.
Salary cap don't matter to those teams like that.
Well,
Like
yeah,
Trey always say.
my thing is Trick Williams. What's this, year 15 for him?
Yeah.
He did not have a good game Sunday. He did not have a good game Sunday.
2
Yeah,
penalties
me
back to
and
back.
Yeah.
me Wise was talking about that. Them 2 penalties he got, the holding call and the
That was
false
big.
start. Very very uncharacteristic of somebody his caliber. So
Yeah.
So what they said though, but now I'm thinking, what if y'all didn't know the overtime rules? How prepared were y'all? Like
that's what I was
how?
talking about with the Cowboys, man. They would have absolutely blipped Mike McCarthy. He came into a
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
post
my
game
gosh.
press conference and been like, "Well, we didn't know the overtime rules."
Well, I
I feel like
mean,
they took it easy on Kyle Shanahan. They changed the rules 2 years ago. How do you not know?
well, hell, I didn't know either. So I mean, it is. I mean, well,
I didn't know the
bananas
clock
though.
ran out.
But I don't know, man. I feel. I mean, well, yeah, I get it. They probably should have kicked it because who was it? I think Dan Orlowski made a good point because now your offense, instead of having 3 chances, you have 4. Because if you take the ball first, you don't convert third down. 9 times in you're gonna punt. Whereas when you have the ball second, and let's say they kick a field goal, you have to get the first down. So now you can play third down for fourth down. So
Yep.
it's analytics, man. It's I don't know how to describe it, but he said he was going with analytics. Like, we got to stop the analytics. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
Hell, your daddy was a head coach.
Dan Campbell. Put that inner Dan Campbell out.
Yeah, but I don't think San Fran's going anywhere. The NFC West, I don't really see them building. I mean, Arizona's a mess. I don't know what I don't know what the Rams gonna do with Stafford. Seattle, they still look like they rebuilding. And shit, who else in the NFC West?
Cardinals.
Cardinals, and yeah, they. I got a question.
Well, it was Kyler's first year off injury, so we gotta see if this can be the bounce back year next year.
I
I
don't
got a
know who he's
question.
going to have to play with, though. I mean, James Conner, or what receivers they going to have? What's the
How
defense going
is
to look
it?
like?
Well, never mind. They in St. Louis. They're not in St. Louis no more. I was gonna make a statement, but never mind.
How they in the West?
I was gonna say, how is Dallas in the NFC East, but they're further
We
west
talked
than the
about that.
St. Louis Rams?
We talked
But
Yeah,
about
we,
that
we had
before.
this
We
conversation a
talked
while
about that
ago.
before.
Yeah. A lot of stuff. We was switching teams around, trying to figure out
Yeah.
if we make this
but
make
like
sense.
another thing, how is Dallas in the NFC East, but they're more south than Carolina? We should be in the NFC South, and Carolina's more
Yeah.
east than Dallas.
But I
Yeah,
think you
we
can't
had
mess with
this
the NFC
conversation.
South. NFC South is more because
No.
You got Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. So we all in that
I mean, yeah, they all
pocket.
right
So that's a
there.
good pocket. They need to put
Okay.
you on the
Right
NFC
there.
West.
But
Put
look
you on
at
the NFC
Dallas
West.
though. We in Washington, Philly, New York, so we gotta fly regardless.
I think they need to switch. You could switch,
Carolina with Dallas.
but then you messed the
No, how
NFC
about New
South because now the
Orleans?
NFC South.
New
No, you
Orleans.
could switch New
Well, New
Orleans. You
Orleans is
could
right
switch New
there with
Orleans.
Dallas.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But not they can't even put you on the West either. Unless they put you on the AFC. They can put you on the AFC South.
So what yeah, cause Indianapolis, that's north. I don't know
Hmm.
how they in the south.
You be in there with Houston. Well,
You
Jacksonville
got
all the way
Indy,
over
you
there
got
too, though.
Tennessee, Houston. Yeah, Jacksonville's all far east.
Because
It's
look,
crazy how they got the whole
you
thing.
could do a Baltimore, Carolina, Tennessee, and Atlanta, and that could be like the NFC, AFC South or what. I think we were in the West when we first came in.
Well, yeah, because back then it was what 3 division in each conference, so that's what kind of fucked it up.
Who ain't Jordan? Who saying ain't Jordan?
You
Patty
talking about
Mahomes or Tom
Mahomes
Brady?
or LeBron? I think she's talking about LeBron.
Oh, nobody worry about LeBron.
Yeah.
Nobody worry about Vincent. I'm watching OKC in Orlando right now. Ain't nobody worry about LeBron. Uh, I don't know. I think they need to switch it up. I just like why is Miami in the A? Well, I get why they in the AFC East, but they could be in the AFC South. And then you put Indy in the AFC North. I mean AFC East.
Well, yeah, no, you put Indy in the AFC North and you put Baltimore in the AFC East.
Yes.
I think.
I
Yeah.
think y'all with the Commanders Cowboys rivalry. I think that's why y'all in the NFC East, honestly,
Well,
because I think
probably.
they want to have that rivalry twice a year.
Yeah.
But it geographically and logistically it makes no sense. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
everybody
you
worried
think
about the
about it.
Commodores.
DC, Philly, and New York. What are they all? What 4 hours away from each other?
yep,
And then you got Texas where you got to fly.
yeah, yeah. Y'all got to fly cross country 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Man, they got the Jerry Jones money. They be all right.
Yeah, Jerry don't care.
Like shit,
Jerry don't
that's
care.
a lot of money flying to
Yeah,
Texas. Shit,
he got
you
yeah,
gotta
he
get
got a
you
lot of
gotta get
money. That's
huh?
plenty. He got plenty jet fuel. Don't worry. That's all he care about.
Yeah, but guess what?
Now
I
speaking
don't.
on you, yeah, you got to fly. Hey, Carolina 4.5 hours, baby.
Yeah, shit is what three
But
and a half hours for Texas, ain't it, Trey?
What's that?
flight.
To fly from Richmond
Oh,
to
I'm talking
Texas.
about driving. I think
Oh,
a flight
probably. I
is
know.
45
Yeah,
minutes
I
to an
think it's
hour.
about that. It's about that.
No, it's
Something
about
like
three and a
that.
half hours. Cause you gotta put in that time zone too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to go. I said it. I'm trying to go Super Bowl next year in New Orleans. So
Yeah, good luck with that. I ain't paying no $20,000.
don't worry. We gonna get sponsored. Hey, YouTube gonna pop off in the next year. We're gonna be sponsored. We're gonna be there on the NFL dime. We're gonna be there NFL dime. We're gonna be on
Oh,
Radio Row with Cam and them.
listen, please, NFL, YouTube, if you watching, please,
Yeah, put us out there.
please,
Put us on
Right.
Radio
please.
Row. Come here, Dak. Let's talk to you, Dak. Come sit and talk to us, Dak. But no, I think those tickets are crazy. I forgot who. I was Devin posted that, and I think Chad Ocho was talking about. It's crazy how expensive the tickets are. You pricing out the regular fan and their family to go to the Super Bowl. Like
Right.
I was looking at it, it's like 2.5 million for some suites, $50,000 for tickets. Like even $10,000 get you what the nosebleeds.
Right.
Like that's
And it
crazy.
costs you nothing to watch it at home.
For now.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I'm about
yeah,
to say, yeah, you don't have to buy
For now.
a streaming service, watch the Super Bowl, have a Netflix subscription or something next year. Watch.
yeah. Well, we already had to buy streaming to watch a playoff game, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming.
Had to
I
buy
don't think they
Prime Video to
will.
watch a Thursday night game.
I don't think they will because they making it was $7 million for a 30-second commercial this year. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
will help them keep it free. But yeah, that's crazy. 10 G's and people pay that. People pay that, bro.
Oh
Well, yeah,
yeah, they
well,
gonna
I'm
pay it.
talking about rich people paying that.
They gonna pay it.
And but you think about it, that's like what 60 to 70,000 of the richest people pockets at this
Well, yeah,
game. I
well,
mean,
and that's why because yeah, like you said, it takes out the average fan.
yep.
So
Shoot, just put me close to it. I'll be outside, bro. Just put me on the big screen somewhere.
I'll just stick. I do want to go to an NFC Championship game,
I
though.
go
I
to a
went to a
bar.
divisional playoff game, so I do want to go to an NFC Championship game.
All right, let's do that. We're gonna say
We
NFC
might be
Championship next year. NFC Championship, Carolina versus Dallas in Carolina. We going.
Dallas ain't
No,
gonna
and
be in.
nah. I'm about to say Dallas ain't gonna be in it. Unless you're talking about the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, the Dallas Mavericks will make an NFC Championship game before the Cowboys do.
I got a
In
Mm-hmm.
the
question.
NBA.
If CJ Stroud makes AFC Championship before Dak make an NFC Championship, is CJ the biggest quarterback in Texas?
Yep.
Yes.
I think he might be the
And,
biggest quarterback in Texas.
and
Close
just
now.
another quarterback that then came in years after Dak already been there and already went to AFC Championship or played in the Super Bowl. There will be another quarterback on that list.
But speaking of y'all Cowboys, let me get to it. What y'all doing? Dak and CD. CD said he want to be the highest paid,
I
if
tell
not
you
one of
what,
the
man, that
highest paid.
damn Dallas Cowboys. Before we get into all that, I want to address what I think is wrong with this team. I finally think I figured it out. The Dallas Cowboys have a culture problem.
Ooh.
You just now figuring that out.
Let me explain. They have a
Okay.
culture problem. To me, culture breeds three things: discipline, commitment, and consistency. The Cowboys lack in all three areas. One of the most penalized teams in the league under Mike McCarthy, undisciplined. Stupid penalties at that. We've seen them play in these games and how stupid some of these penalties are. Pre-snap penalties, all that. Like I get, there's some good penalties you can get. Like if you holding, you protecting your quarterback. All right, you know, if a guy comes at you, a quarterback makes an unnecessary hit or something, you got to send a message, get a penalty. All right, but the stuff they was doing was stupid. Running into the kicker, false starts, jumping off sides on 3rd and 4, giving the teams first downs. I can't tell how much time I've seen that last year when they did that. We're about to get the ball back, and we get a penalty on 3rd down or 4th down, and we keep the drives alive. So undisciplined. Commitment. There were guys in the preseason who were hoping that Dak would be okay. Hoping. You think Patrick Mahomes' teammates was hoping he was going to be okay? You think the Buffalo Bills was hoping Josh Allen was going to be okay? You think the Ravens was hoping Lamar Jackson was going to be okay? That one might be a little different. You think in his prime, teams was hoping that Tom Brady was going to be okay?
I think you
No,
hope
they
Josh
knew.
Allen's gonna be okay because
They
of
knew they was
the
they
turnovers.
knew what they had. These teams know what they got. Dallas will know what they got in Dak Prescott, which leads me to consistency. How consistent has Dak been as the starting quarterback in the Dallas Cowboys? Not very consistent, has he? How you going
No,
up against the
no,
Commodores?
I ain't, Dak is consistent. Dak get y'all to the playoffs. Dak can get y'all to the playoffs.
And what we doing in the playoffs?
That don't matter. He get y'all there.
I
I
tell
would
you what,
take that.
he consistent. He consistent in getting us there. He's also consistent in not winning when we do get there. So he's consistent in
Can't do
both of
that.
those
You can't do
categories.
that. You.
So yes,
Hey,
the Cowboys
Yeah, Brandon. I
consistently.
know it. I know in Carolina, winning 6 games is a success. But here in Dallas, going to a playoffs, that ain't no success.
we done been to
You
more
wear
NFC
that star on your
championships than
head,
y'all than
God
since
damn it, we ain't gonna make
2000s.
the Super
We done
Bowl.
been to more
True.
Super Bowls since y'all since the
You
2000s.
right.
So
True.
You haven't won
we've
none.
been
You right.
around since '95.
You right.
True.
So 96, 95. So hey,
But see, we don't do that. You know what we do? We got more Super Bowls.
y'all
That's
got
how
Super
that,
Bowls
that's
when
how
we
we
was
in argument.
two. We was 2 and 3.
Huh?
That's not our super. That is not y'all Super Bowls as Dallas Cowboys fans. That's the oldest fans Super Bowls.
You're
Y'all
right.
Super
You're
Bowls
right.
are
But that's what I'm saying.
after.
As a Cowboys fan, we don't do no we've been to the Super Bowl. We won no. Super Bowl or bust.
And we got
Go ahead,
NFL
Trey.
MVP.
Huh?
We got NFL MVP.
You right.
Uh, hey, that's why. Well, Dave Tepper took what is what I was trying to say? A playoff team, a continuous playoff team, and we haven't won more than 6 games since he's taken over. So hopefully that stops now that we finally, for the first time, have hired a head coach and a GM at the same time, and not had a GM holdover or a head coach holdover. And I really think that culture, like y'all talking about to change in Carolina.
Mm.
We coming next year. We
My
coming.
fault, Trey. Continue your
Yeah,
statement.
I'm
I had
sorry.
to.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
had. I
sorry.
had to make that statement right there.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. I was just saying the Cowboys have a culture issue because they don't have any commitment. They're not committed to one another. They're not committed to the game plans. They're inconsistent and they're undisciplined. These are all things that have been constantly going on under Mike McCarthy. Really, since Tony Romo was playing, honestly, we've been seeing all these
Yep.
trends. So what does that say? Ownership. We already know ownership's a problem. But yeah, the Cowboys, man, like let me tell you something about culture. When I played, when I first came to CNU back in 2010, it was also my head coach's first year there. And he came in and he had a vision on what he wanted that program to be. And to implement a good culture, it takes a few years for that to happen. Now we see a couple outliers in sports where coaches come in their first year and they go and they win a championship. Like I think of Udoka when his first year as coach with the Celtics, they got to the NBA Finals. Now, they didn't win, but they got there. Like you have some of those moments or those times in sports where coaches, for whatever reason, they come in their first year and they're able to get a team, either to the promised land or they go and win the whole thing. It doesn't happen often because when you're trying to instill a culture, it takes a few years for your vision to come true. Because you're coming in as a head coach, you got to figure out the players already there are the players you want. Are these the guys that fit what you're trying to do, what you're trying to teach, what you're trying to be? You got to make that decision right away. I got to bring in more guys. I got to get rid of some of these guys, or I'm gonna keep these guys. I got to change the coaching up. Now you're changing schemes, you're changing up plays, you're changing up a lot of terminology. All these things that these guys have been used to, you know, guys just don't get it and it don't click right away. It takes a few games, a few seasons for it to finally gel together. So I'll talk about, my time at CNU and how my coach came in and, we had a certain group of players, certain personalities on our teams. And by the time I was a senior, I started to see a shift. He started bringing in some different type of players, different type of mentality, guys who, weren't knuckleheads per se, dudes who were, good in the classroom, who bought into what he was doing on the court. We didn't have many off the court issues that we did when I was a freshman, when I was a sophomore. And after I left the program, when I graduated, these guys started making deep, deep, deep runs to the NCAA tournament. I mean, Final Four every year. And they finally won a national championship last year after about 9 years. So having a good culture and installing a good culture, it takes years to see the benefits of your labor because there's so many moving pieces, so many things you got to change and reconstruct and rebuild. And everybody has to have an adjustment period, and once you get it to where you want it to go, it's like a machine, a well-oiled machine. You just plug in place and you just keep it going. You keep it going. And them guys have continued to have success in the years that I've left there. And that's a perfect example of a coach coming in, taking what he sees and making it into what he wants it to be. And then years down the road, you start reaping the benefits of what you put in and what you worked out. Um, the Dallas Cowboys have had that time with Mike McCarthy. Like it's been, 4 years. He's going into year 5 now. We should have been starting to see some results better than what we've been getting. Maybe it's time to flush the system and get a new head coach. And I think that's finally the direction they're going to move in after next year when his contract runs up and the Cowboys come up short again. McCarthy's going to be gone. Maybe they'll elevate somebody from within as the head coach. Maybe they'll go get Bill Belichick. I don't know. But there are going to be some changes in Dallas if Dallas does not get it done next year. And we're going to start the process all over again. But with McCarthy, some coaches come in, they have a few years in, and the results don't get any better or they get worse. You got to go. But when you see gradual improvement, when guys are starting to, or when the team is starting to take steps slowly in the right direction, it's like, all right, we'll hang on to see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. And you got some owners out there that don't, like the Cleveland Browns. They couldn't keep a coach past one season. I used to always say when the Cleveland Browns kept
Sound
firing the
like
coach,
Carolina.
I'm like, these guys are never going to get a chance to get anything down and win games because they keep firing the coach every year. Like it takes time. I know these owners get impatient, but it really takes time. If you really think you got the right head coach, it's going to take some time to fix a program like Cleveland, who was winning like 1 or 2 games every year. It's going to take time to overhaul that system and fix that. If you really want to take the time to do it, you're going to have to sacrifice a couple years to get to where you want to go. But eventually, after 3, 4 seasons, you will finally get to where you see this team being. But if you fire the coach after, every time you bring a new coach in, that's a new system that these players have to learn. You got new staff coming in. These quarterbacks they go through in Cleveland. Playing with different offensive coordinators and different head coaches every year, it affects the way they play. So you got to keep that in mind as an owner with these coaches, man. These ones that's more impatient, you've got to find ways to, because honestly, if you're going to fire a coach after every season, they don't give you the results they want. Your team's never going to get better. You're just going to hope at this point you find a coach that can come in and be one of those outliers that I talked about and just magically get y'all to the AFC Championship or to a Super Bowl in their first year there. Which, it's hard to do that. Even if you've been a tenured coach, it's hard to get to the Super Bowl. So a brand new coach, like we knew DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud and what they were doing was special, but getting to a Super Bowl, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, never been done in NFL history. There's a reason why it hasn't been done. It's hard to do in your first year when you're trying to make things a certain way and everything is brand new. That run they went on, they were not supposed to go on that run. It was an outlier. They beat the odds. They got lucky in some places. I'm not trying to take away all the credit from CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans and the job they did and the players they brought in the offseason to make that team better. They did a hell of a job constructing that team and getting to where they did. They overachieved, and that's okay. But I think now they see, based off the results from this season, that they have, their guy. And DeMeco Ryans, they have their quarterback and CJ Stroud. And now, you got your head coach, you got your quarterback, and now you build around them and you keep pushing forward and keep making the playoffs. And who knows, maybe next year they might find themselves, in the divisional round or in the AFC Championship game or maybe even the Super Bowl. They'll probably get there before Dallas does because they got a good culture. I like what DeMeco Ryans is doing in Houston. And, that's a guy that I would like to follow. And they talk really good about him. You hear great things about him in the media. And that's a coach that that wants to come in, and the Houston Texans have been mediocre or less than mediocre for far too long, and he's changing things up there. And I guarantee
Well, no,
you,
Deshaun had him. Deshaun had him winning. Deshaun had him winning before he got
yeah, they
in
did.
trouble.
But I honestly, I never took them. I never thought they'd do anything. They had Deshaun Watson, they had DeAndre Hopkins, and outside of that, J.J. Watt, he was
Yeah,
starting to age. But outside of that, they weren't going to do a whole lot. I think this
yeah,
team that they have now, with C.J. Stroud, they had a bunch of weapons on offense. The defense was pretty good. Like I think they had a more complete team than what Deshaun Watson had. I think Deshaun
yeah.
Watson
Facts.
carried
That's
that
true.
team offensively a whole lot, whereas this team that we saw this year, I think they played better complementary football than we've seen Deshaun Watson's team play when he was the quarterback in Houston.
CJ said something though. He did say that they had a lot of good. Houston didn't have bad players because they didn't have top draft picks. I
Mm-mm.
think, like you said, it was D'Amico and that culture and a coach that can relate and say, and like I like what Dave Canales said, I'm not gonna try to fit you into what I do. What are we good at? We're gonna do what we good at, and that's what we're gonna focus on. Like I think
Right.
D'Amico came in and figured out what is everybody good at, and
Mm-hmm.
then got the players that he wanted and he needed because they moved up to get Will Anderson Jr.
Right.
And now they're going. They got the players they needed. Hey, I need Tank. He just said, hey, I need Tank Dell. Then okay, let Tank Dell. Dalton Schultz. Like it's
Yeah, and free agency. They made some moves in free agency too. Dalton Schultz and they got Noah Brown. Noah Brown, looking like a number one receiver. I'm like, well, where was that at when he was in Dallas? Like this man when he
except
had a
for when he went
career
up against
year.
Sauce. When he went up against Sauce, that way
Oh yeah.
Sauce had Noah Brown looking.
Yeah. I mean, Sauce do that to a lot of receivers.
Yeah,
We won't just Noah, but he do that to a lot of guys. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, they did a good job going out and getting them guys in free agency, and then did a good job in the draft, and they messed around and found themselves in the playoffs. No one had them going to the playoffs. I had them
yeah,
winning more games than they did last year because they played tough. Like they lost a lot of games, but a
yeah,
lot of the games they played were one possession games that they lost, so they were right there. Could have won
yeah.
either way. And this year they finally started winning those games. So I had them winning more games. I didn't have them in the playoffs. I think it was a little bit of surprise to a lot of people that they even made it to the playoffs. Given the way Jacksonville was playing and completely collapsed. Trevor Lawrence, that's a different story for another day.
Except for week 17, they didn't collapse. They didn't collapse in week 17. They beat
Who,
the
the
team
Jaguars?
26-0. Yeah, they beat the team 26-0.
They beat
Must
the
have been week
Panthers
18.
26-0.
Yeah, they beat Panthers 26-0.
Must have been week 18 when they collapsed. They lost to somebody, and Houston ended up sneaking into the playoffs, which is
I
crazy.
think Houston and Indy, they played. There was a win in the end game, I believe. And look, Indy,
Yeah, it
Indy
was.
with Gardner Minshew, Shane Steichen calling them plays. Shane
Yeah.
Steichen.
Yeah, I think it's two different styles of play calling though, with Gardner Minshew at quarterback versus
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson. And when Anthony Richardson comes back, hopefully,
They say he's six
he,
to 8 weeks ahead of schedule. He throwing the ball.
that's good. Well, hopefully, this is the only injury he'll have because I know sometimes, there's the second time he got hurt
Yeah.
during the season. Actually, and the second injury was the one that put him out. But hopefully, man, this is not like a sign of things to come for him as far as like, because you know how it is being a big, running quarterback.
Yeah.
The injuries can pile up and slow you down and derail you, faster than you can imagine. So hopefully he continues to stay healthy. Obviously, use your legs if you need to, but I'm not a big fan of having these big quarterbacks, just bulldozing through guys, every other play. It's just injuries waiting to happen. You want to shorten your career at the quarterback position, that's one way to do it. So hopefully he
He was
doesn't
hurt in
see.
4 to 5 of the games he played.
Yeah,
That's what worried me too. 'Cause I love him as a
yeah,
talent, but I
yeah.
mean,
He's very talented. Coming out of the draft, he
Florida.
was very, very highly. Yeah, coming up from Florida, coming out of coming into the draft, he was one of the quarterbacks, top prospects. And everyone was raving about how he was going to be it, like the next Cam Newton. So we'll see. Time will tell. Hopefully he stays healthy and they get the right pieces around him in Indy. They solved the Jonathan Taylor issue, so he's going to have him around for the near future. Um, Michael Pittman's their number one receiver. He's pretty good. I don't know where else they need to improve or to get their team where they want it, but yeah, if they continue to put the right pieces around him, they get a good head coach or they like their head coach and what he's doing, they can be a force to be reckoned with down the line in the AFC South, which is one of the weaker divisions in football. Um, the Titans not going to be great next
What's
year.
up, Wop? What's up? How you doing, brother?
Wap, Wapa Jr. Yeah, the Titans going to be down next year because they're projected to lose Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins will probably be available as well. Ryan Tannehill is probably going to be gone. We got to see what the Colts do health wise, how Anthony Richardson is going to look. Um, Jacksonville, they got some stuff to figure out with Trevor Lawrence. He too up and down, too
I
inconsistent.
think he was trying to play through too many injuries. Like he was high ankle sprain, and you playing the
Yeah,
next week. I
yeah,
think like
yeah.
somebody
Because
got to be like, "Hey, Trevor, sit
he
down."
got this whole story going on about him never missing the football game since he was like in
Yeah,
high school. So I think he's trying to like he wears that with a badge of honor, and he might have been playing some games where he probably shouldn't have been.
yeah.
Maybe that's a result of or why he looked as bad as he did in some of those games. I don't know, but it could be that. It could be a mental thing. It could just be him trying to adjust to the NFL. I don't know, but he just he's been kind of streaky. There's moments where he looks really good, and then there's moments where it's like, dude, like you took two
Sit your
steps
ass down,
backwards.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, man, I think the coach, if Anthony Richards comes back healthy, Jonathan Taylor's still there. They have a chance to be a wild card team in that division or even win a division. Um, the Texans, I think, right now, based off of this season, best team in that division. What
So
Matt and
why
Rex
you
Ryan?
you want Dallas to pick up Rex Ryan? What you don't like about Matt Zimmer?
I don't think.
Man,
I think. I
it's
think
the
Rex
Dallas
Ryan was just.
Cowboys,
I
man.
think he was
Love
a
to pick
decoy.
up guys who ain't been in the league in 5 or 6, 7 years. He would have
What's his
been a
name?
perfect
Mike
fit.
Zimmer. I'm sorry.
What they should have got. I think y'all should have promoted Al Harris. That's who I
Yeah,
think y'all should have promoted.
yeah, they do
You talking
rave
about
about his
culture?
work with the secondary, man, and like how he gets some guys. They some ball hawks, man. I'd have been a fan of it, And Jerry loves hiring from within. So I figured, but as soon as the player said Al Harris, I was like, he's not gonna hire Al Harris.
Yeah.
It makes too
Rex
much
Ryan's
sense.
a coach. Rex
And what
Ryan's
did
a
we
coach. He's
and
not.
what did we say earlier about the Cowboys making sense? They ain't gonna do it. If I Derrick Henry gonna end up being in Baltimore or Philly. Watch what I tell you.
Yeah. Look, Amber, right. He a coach. Rex Ryan's a coach. Go look up the butt fumble. Go look up the butt fumble.
Sports Center not top 10. That was like the
Yeah.
longest running top play on there for like a year, 2 years, or whatever. They stopped doing it. But yeah,
I think he's one of those lineage coaches. Didn't it's Buddy Ryan and all that, right? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those legacy coaches. I think it was just a ploy because Mike Zimmer wanted something, and I think they were just because the way
Yeah,
it all happened when they said it, it was just
he's only 2 years removed from the game, and he did have some good defenses in his stops as a defensive coordinator. And he had a winning record in Minnesota. You know, his
yeah,
last couple years, you know, they were I think they were under 500 in those last 2 seasons. But the last 2 seasons, I think he had a lot of injuries too on the defensive side of the ball, which contributed to them going down the way they did. But yeah, I mean, he's been fine as a coordinator. You know, he was there when Dallas won their last Super Bowl um, as a DB coach, I believe. You know, he worked on the Parcells as a DC. Um, and then he worked in was it Cincinnati and was it Atlanta maybe? Was the other
Well,
two
I
stops
mean,
he had
wow, this
outside of
was a top
Minnesota?
five. This was a top five defense. You saw what they did in the playoffs.
That's
yeah.
Dan Quinn's fault. Mike Zimmer would be different. Mike
You know, I
Zimmer's a
told y'all, man. Deron Bland is the reason why he got 9 picks.
I agree. What McCarthy should be going. I think they're holding on to him because his contract expires next year. And
Yeah,
they feel like they're close, whatever the fuck that means. But I think if McCarthy don't get it done next year, they're just gonna
he
let him
gone.
walk. He gonna
He gone.
fire himself. He's either gonna play. He's either gonna go and the NFC Championship game, win a Super Bowl, whatever, and save his job and get an extension, or he gonna fire himself. They're not gonna pay
Gilmore,
him
I
to
think
fight.
y'all had to play Gilmore. I mean, you couldn't put Deron Bland on somebody number one. And
Right? Nah, hell
yeah,
no.
Well,
yeah,
that Seattle game was
yeah,
good. God,
yeah.
it didn't matter who DeBron Bland was guarding, but he was getting cooked. He did have an interception late in that game, but he gave up about 200 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. I think maybe because they ain't had nobody. It's tough. 'Cause, I mean, if y'all lose your top two receivers, then
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Dallas is going to do on defensively. You know, when they hire Mike Zimmer. I do like the hire because, like I said, he's had some great teams on the defensive side of the ball as a coordinator. But obviously, personnel is an issue because it couldn't stop the run. A little too thin. So I hope they beef up whatever plans they got for the draft. You know, if there's some linebackers out there in free agency they can go get that can help shore that up a little bit. I've been hearing rumors about certain guys in the draft that they should go after that will be, some run stoppers. Um, but
I
whatever they
thought
do,
Mosley
man.
Smith was supposed to be y'all run stopper.
Oh, God, they don't get me started. Now look, when you draft somebody in the first round, and ESPN ain't even got a video package prepared for them. It's like, okay, who is this guy? He was on Marley Smith was the only person drafted in the first round. The ESPN they didn't know what to say about him when the Cowboys picked him. It came so far out of left field, they caught everybody off guard. They had a photo of the man. That was it. There was no video package. There was no background. They didn't know nothing about his family life. Nothing. That's how off kilter the pick was for Dallas.
Hey, it's
And everybody
it's
was like, "Oh, Dallas moved up to get this. He's gonna be a run stopper. He's running. Kansas City's gonna draft him. He's gonna be a run stopper." I'm like, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. Dallas went and drafted this guy, and nobody's ever heard of him. Something's not right here.
yeah.
And we saw the results of that. So we wasted the first round pick there.
We that's why I'm glad we got a late first round pick. I'm saying this year, so that's what I'm turning my attention to now. We got the combine coming up. We got the draft coming up. Draft is what 75 days, 65 days, or something like that.
It's
75
about what?
days.
Yeah, it's about three
Late
months
April.
away.
Yeah. So we got to start breaking
Cowboys.
down. We got to look for free agency coming up too. A lot of people got to
Cowboys
get paid
picking
this week.
24th and 3rd year in a row. Golly. Boys
Y'all can
play
get a
just
receiver.
good enough in the regular season and then stink it up in the playoffs and get mid-20s pick. Defensive tackle.
Try to tell you, Trigger. It's all good. Hopefully next year you'll learn.
I already told you what they're doing next year. McCarthy gonna get fired because they're gonna get eliminated in the wild card round again.
Hell, they might not make the playoffs.
No, they don't make the playoffs. They ain't gonna go far though.
Hey, Philly got a culture problem going on. I think it's something going on in Philly. Daniel Jones is still the quarterback for the Giants, and then y'all got Dan Quinn coming in with probably Drake May. So y'all got a good chance to go next year to the playoffs.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll make the playoffs whether we win a division or go as a wild card, but we're gonna get there. Will we go far in the playoffs? Probably not. Mike McCarthy gonna be on his way out, and they probably hire Belichick.
I
They
don't.
hired Belichick, and guess what? They still ain't gonna win.
Well, Belichick just want to get his 15. Belichick is gonna get his 15 win. He can get that with y'all, his
Yeah,
15
that's
wins,
all.
and then
Belichick trying to get his 15 wins so he can beat Don Shula.
hmm
I mean, he'd be in a good situation, man. He'll have a pretty decent team, and maybe he can be the one to turn them around. And we need a coach with some fire and some fear.
is
Like
it time
motherfuckers,
to?
if they don't perform their job, they don't get in trouble. They will get cut like something. You know, like Jimmy Johnson. Like guys used to fear him, man.
Well, see, here's the
He was,
thing: you can't do the Jimmy Johnson style. They making too much money. They making too much guaranteed money.
Yeah,
You know, if a player don't act right in training camp and he got 40 million guaranteed, you ain't gonna cut him.
yeah.
no, you're not gonna cut him, but you can do something. Get creative.
Y'all gonna
Find a
have to
way to
give CD
motivate.
what 30? CD probably getting 30 this year,
He probably gonna get somewhere up to 28 to 30 million.
and then Dak. What y'all do with Dak? He got the highest cap hit in the NFL right now.
Unfortunately, you got to extend him.
He
Mhm.
don't.
It's
We
cheap.
can't. We
It's
can't
cheaper
trade
if you
him, and we
extend him.
You give him
can't
3 years,
tag
fully
him.
guaranteed,
Nah, I don't know.
You said to do like
Uh,
McCarthy, just go into this season, and if he don't play well and get the Cowboys to the promised land, he can walk with McCarthy next year too.
because he can't, because y'all can't franchise tag him. Y'all
Can't
gotta, you
franchise
gotta
tag
extend
him.
him. You gotta
Can't
extend him
trade him.
because
Can't franchise tag him. Can't trade him. The only way we can trade him if he waives his no trade clause, then we could trade him. But can't trade him. Can't tag him. Can't cut him. That's gonna
well,
cut him.
here's the thing: Jerry's not gonna let that go. Jerry's 81 years old. He is not going
yeah,
to
he's not
try to
going
rebuild.
unless Trey Lance comes along and they just like
Well, if Trey Lance couldn't make it in San Fran, he's not gonna make it in Dallas.
I don't I
Plus, he's
see,
still third behind Cooper Rush, so it ain't like
but
he
y'all gotta
jumped up
realize
steps
Trey
up.
Lance still a baby. He ain't played that much football. Trey Lance ain't played that
Okay,
much
neither
football.
did Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy was a 4 year starter at Iowa State.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, Trey Lance was a 14 games in FCS.
I trust
Yeah, North
Kyle
Dakota State.
Shanahan with Trey Lance. If Kyle
That is
Shanahan,
true though. That is true.
Mike McCarthy got a seasoned Brett Favre,
Yeah,
and he lucked up on Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was in his fourth year when he finally played.
yeah,
You know, I don't
yeah. I
know.
agree with that
I don't know if Mike McCarthy's good at building a quarterback, like coaching up a quarterback.
because Trey Lance did not make it in San Fran, which is one of the most quarterback friendly offenses
Yeah,
there are. So
yeah.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I think Jerry did that just to put some heat on Dak. That's what
Cooper
that was
Rush, I
about.
think, puts a lot of heat on that
Yeah, as good as Cooper Rush has played for us in the past, I still don't think he's that guy that's going to carry us
Nah.
if the team needs it. He just doesn't. I don't know. I feel like the offense is a little different when he's back there.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks hella simplified when he's back there. He makes all the right throws. He doesn't try to do too much, and really, that's all you need. When Dak's in there, they tend to push the envelope a little bit more. You can tell they call things a little bit different. Obviously they call plays and use Dak's legs. Um, it's just a little different. Cooper Rush is more of a pocket guy. Dak is. I mean, he's still a pocket guy. He still don't like to run, but he will run more than Cooper Rush
I
will.
don't get it. If Dak played like Patrick Mahomes played Sunday, y'all would win playoff games. If Dak Mahomes
It's
sort of
been
just
it's
took off,
several times. I tell you what, if Dak was in a situation, he probably would just stay back there and try to force something down the field rather than just take what's in front of you.
he
That's what
got
be pissing
CD
me
though.
off about him, man. Like you see the hole, just go take it. Get the yardage. Especially if
I,
it's like
I,
if it's third and short, 4th and 1 or something, you trying to force something down. Just get the yardage. Just run 2-3 yards. You ain't got to go score a touchdown or pick up 15, 20 yards. Just get the yards you need and just get down. Live to fight another set of downs. You trying to do it all on one play. Go for the gusto when you turning the ball over. You getting sacked. Something goes wrong. I'm just like, man, you're trying to do too much. Just take what they give you. Just simple option. Take the simple option.
Well, fellas, it's 8:11. We want to do our closing statements, or we want to keep going?
Uh, Dallas
I have
Cowboys
to,
fans,
I have to address.
don't get your hopes up next year.
Yeah,
I try to tell y'all.
I just wanted to address two more things really quickly. Um, I've been seeing a lot of people on social media that was upset with the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Oh, so tired of Kansas City winning every year. And I'm just like, what? Why does everyone have a problem with people winning? Like, why you want to see other teams or a different team every year win? What's wrong with seeing and being a fan of dominance? Because it's not you, it's not your team. Because I guarantee these same people, if it was their team that was going to the AFC Championship game every year, playing the Super Bowl every year, winning the Super Bowl every year, they wouldn't be saying that. Like these
I
people,
agree.
get successful or they're with somebody that's successful, and they're singing the praises and they're saying this and they're saying that. But when it's somebody else, I'm tired of it. Like, why can't he go? I want to pass out participation trophies to everybody. Like
Hey,
what?
it's
Like I think that the
you.
only people who do that are people who've never won anything in their life. You don't know what
I
it's
think
like to
people just
win.
tired of just. I don't. I think this whole season, KC was just in your face so much this season with everything that's going on that people were just like, yeah, I don't want them to win. But like you said, it's dominance. I mean, stop them. If you don't want them to win, beat them. That's it.
Like I hate the New England Patriots. I hate them, but I respect the hell out of their dynasty and the dominance that they had with Tom Brady as their quarterback. The 7 or 6 championships with the Patriots. Like that's not easy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
respectable. It's commendable. I mean, however you want to slice, you want to say he won it. You want to say the defense, whatever. They still won. So like give the man his props. That's hard to do, especially now we're seeing that there was more Tom Brady than Belichick because Belichick
Yeah.
didn't had no kind of success since Brady left. So get that
But
man his
I
props.
think that's more. It could be more of Belichick ain't had a quarterback since Brady left too, though. You got to have a quarterback in this league.
Yeah, and I think they're finally gonna move on from Mac Jones. I get the feeling
Yeah.
they're probably gonna be in the market for another quarterback, or they'll probably
Well,
try to
they
go get.
draft three
Yeah, they're
or three or
drafting
four.
third. Yep, they're drafting third, but you already know Caleb Williams is gonna be gone. Drake May's gonna be gone. Like who else is
Jaden
coming up?
Daniels. They
I
get
don't think
Jaden Daniels.
Jay Daniels. Yes, I'm about to say I don't
Yeah.
think Penix and Bo Nix. I don't think they're as high up on the board, um, or they're projected to go as high as the other ones are. But yeah, they could
Yeah.
go for a Jaden Daniels.
I'm hearing Jaden Daniels is like number two on some boards. The number two quarterback, even number one. Sometimes I'm hearing Caleb. Well,
It's gonna be interesting to see what the first 3 picks, because I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is also, up there, and I know, that wide receiver talent right there. Like,
yeah,
some teams gonna want that too. So, it's gonna be him and a couple quarterbacks up there in the mix. The question is, we know Caleb Williams is probably gonna go number one, but and I think Washington's gonna pick a quarterback at number two. The question is, Drake May, Jay Daniels, who is that gonna be? Probably gonna be Drake May. Um, and then third, New England, you pick a quarterback. Do you stick with Mac Jones and try to get him Marvin Harrison Jr.? I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see
Yeah.
how that all unfolds.
but the only thing that scares you, I mean, if I'm New England or Washington, I'm looking to switch with maybe Chicago. Just do a package to switch because I mean, it's number one pick, so you got to give a little bit, but you could be in control of the draft. You don't got to worry about somebody coming up. If you want Marvin Harrison Jr., the first pick, and then you get you a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix early in the second round, uh,
Yeah,
or
maybe.
Jordan Travis. Or Jordan Travis is going to be there in the fourth round, probably fifth round.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know Chicago has two picks inside the top 10. They're currently picking first and ninth.
Hmm.
So they have a chance to get two really good players. So that'll
Carolina
be
could look. If we could have kept our pick, we could be getting Marvin Harrison Jr. this year.
yeah, that'll be a step up from what y'all do have. Big time.
Hey, we got to. I'm happy. They got us
That'll,
getting
that'll,
Lad McConkey. They got
Adam
us.
Thielen, your number one. I don't know how I feel about that going into next season.
We got to talk about that once we get into the draft and stuff. They keep getting us going to Lad McConkey. I gotta get your thoughts on that trigger. They say
You
he the
know,
most quarterback friendly receiver.
I
He was
like
getting open at
Lad.
the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I like Lad at Georgia. I really do. I just felt like he didn't get a lot of as much exposure as some of the
Yeah,
other receivers did. Like they didn't really call his number a whole lot. Like when Bowers got hurt and went down, they started going to him a little bit more. But I didn't really see a whole lot from him that made me think, wow, like Brock Bowers, he popped off the screen
yeah.
to me in the running backs that we have. Um, but McConkey, I was just like, I was very iffy on him. I just haven't seen enough from him.
Yeah, he was running them routes at the Senior Bowl. I was watching him at the Senior Bowl running them routes. He get open. He get open. He
Yeah, but I
separate.
think I think he can do anybody some good as like a number 3 or something, or he could play in the slot. Um, but yeah, we'll just have to see. If he makes that transition. I just didn't see a whole lot of him in Georgia.
All right. What's your? You said you got one more thing you wanted to hit.
Yeah, the NFL being rigged, the sports being rigged, man. That really it really rubs me the
Hey,
wrong way how it happens. Like when certain teams win, the game is rigged, but when they don't, it's not rigged. Or
Say
when
that.
other people's favorite team wins, it's not rigged. The other team win is rigged though. I'm like, people, do you feel yourselves?
what's my man? He said he had the script. He said he was going to double overtime in the NFL. They said he was going to double
Oh
overtime.
my goodness. I'm like,
Hey,
how hard it is to rig it? These guys train all their lives to go be in Hollywood. Is that what you're telling me? To be actors,
WWE,
going through these
WWE.
emotions, guys on the sideline crying, everything, put their blood, sweat, and tears to be told to
It ain't
lose a
rigged.
game.
Yeah,
Are you kidding
especially
me?
especially when Vegas lost 157 million on bets. Yeah, it ain't
Let
rigged.
me tell you about rigged. I'm gonna tell you right, and I done told you this before, and I think you probably know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna tell you the NFL was rigged. The NFL, you could question the NFL being rigged if the Cowboys in the Super Bowl every other year.
Yeah.
If the NFL was rigged, the Dallas Cowboys would not have gone 30 years without being in the NFC Championship game. You know how much money the NFL will make with the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, let alone a Super Bowl? How much the tickets cost for the Super Bowl this year?
Oh yeah.
A lot. A
Donald
The
Trump.
lot.
price. Imagine the price if Dallas was on the
Hey,
bill at
what
the
if they
Super
say,
Bowl.
"Hey Jerry, you'll get to the playoffs every year. You had the most expensive franchise. We'll give you a dynasty with the triplets, and then after that, you gonna have to go win it if you want it."
Imagine if the Cowboys' name was on the Super Bowl. How much them damn tickets would
Oh my
cost?
God, it'd be all Cowboys fans,
And
especially
people
if it's
gonna
in
pay for it.
Dallas.
As
If y'all had a
delusional,
Cowboys Super Bowl in
as
Dallas, oh my
delusional
God,
as we are, they gonna pay them $10,000 ticket prices to sit in the nosebleeds. You best believe it. That place
y'all pay
gonna sell
50,000 in
out.
nosebleeds.
They gonna pay it. They gonna pay it. They gonna pay it. I know
Hmm.
the NFL ain't rigged. Because the NFL was rigged, the Dallas Cowboys would have been in the Super Bowl by now. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
keep the most valuable sports franchise in the world out of the Super Bowl for 30 years. Knowing the NFL know they're gonna make money if the Cowboys is in the playoffs and they go deep in the playoffs. Come on now.
I
Look
don't
at
think.
baseball. Look at baseball. The Yankees, one of the most valuable teams. The Dodgers, two of the top most valuable baseball teams, got one World Series appearance between the two of them in the last 15
And
years.
they spending money too. And they spending money.
You telling me
They
the
winning nothing.
MLB is rigged? You telling me they really wanted a Rangers, Phillies, or whatever they played World Series this past season? The NBA, you telling me they wanted the Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets finals? You got the Lakers and the Knicks, two of the most valuable sports franchises in the NBA. If it was
Hey,
rigged, LeBron would have been in the finals every year.
hey, he was. He was.
At some, yeah, at one point he
He
was.
was.
He was.
9 years
But the
straight.
Lakers, the Lakers are a more valuable franchise though.
Hey, Knicks look good. Knicks looking good.
If the NBA was rigged, it would have been a Lakers Celtic or who was it? Yeah, the Lakers Celtics NBA Finals last year, not the Heat and the Nuggets.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on
true.
now.
Yeah, man.
So we got all these
Fans,
valuable
like you
sports
said,
teams.
Trey.
the Yankees, the
Fans are
Cowboys, and they ain't been nowhere near a championship game in the last 10 years. Neither team. And you
That's a
want to
hurt
tell me
fan
it's
right
real?
there. That's a
You know
hurt
how much
fan.
money? You know how much money these leagues will make if these teams were in the World Series, in the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals? Come on now, people. Y'all got to think about this stuff.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. I mean, being official, you get here, people think we get paid. I have to tell fans all the time. I don't think Vegas has an over under on a team in bumfuck Virginia.
On Henrico versus Matoka, we don't got an over and under on
Fucking
that.
Yeah,
Thomas Dale got an over under and money line and all this stuff in Vegas. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, man. And it's crazy. It's the smart people out there that don't think of this stuff. Like you got these most valuable sports teams and all these major sports, and none of them played in the team's championship games in years. The Yankees ain't been to a World Series since 2009. Most valuable baseball team in baseball. The Dodgers have been to one World Series in the last 10 years. They're probably gonna look to a few more now with the roster they got. Good lord.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Shawnee was hidden. Shawnee
we'll
was
talk
hidden.
about it. We'll talk about it. But yeah, the roster they got now, the pitching, the man, look. I tell you what, they
Oh, we
don't
got
make it
spring
to the
training
World
coming
Series.
up. We got spring
They
training
don't make
coming
it to
up.
the World Series. They're gonna have to hear
Hey,
about that. But yeah, I just think it's crazy, man. People think sports is rigged and stuff, and the most valuable teams ain't even playing in these games. Like if the Cowboys is in it every year, if the Yankees was in the World Series every year, the Dodgers in the World Series every year, if the Lakers and the Celtics were in the finals every year, then I'd be like, okay, something's up here. But these are your money making teams. These are your most valuable teams in each of their respective sports. And none of these teams get to the finals, get to the World Series, get to the Super Bowl like you're talking about now. These leagues would be
right.
making bank if these teams were, in the big game. I'm telling
Right.
you. Y'all, like I say, y'all think the Super Bowl tickets were expensive? With Kansas City and San Fran on there, imagine it don't matter who Dallas plays.
Well,
Arizona
I was
Cardinals
looking at
Super
the
Bowl.
GQ thing before. They raised the prices on a lot of those tickets too, for some of those seats, and it's crazy what they was cost before, and then y'all raised them. But yeah,
Oh, I
Dallas goes
can't
Super Bowl
wait.
is $100,000 to get in.
I hope Dallas make the Super Bowl just so I can compare ticket prices.
It's a
That's
hundred
all.
thousand
I
dollars to get
don't
in.
care. I don't care if they win it. I just want them to make the Super Bowl just so I can compare the ticket prices from the game. It don't matter who the opponent is. No matter who the opponent is, they're playing. It's going to be the most expensive Super Bowl history.
If
Super
it's
Bowl
Kansas
in
City
history.
versus Dallas,
Oh
it's
my God! Ain't nobody going.
it's yeah.
You got to be Bill Gates
Taylor
and
Swift and
Warren
Dak
Buffett.
Prescott.
You got to have millions of dollars to afford them Super Bowl tickets if you got Dallas and Kansas City in the
Yeah,
big game. Oh
yeah,
my goodness. You have to sell your soul and some more stuff to get tickets to that one.
yeah. You got the strip, brother.
Yeah. You can do a lot of stripping.
But
A lot of stripping.
Miles, over you. Miles was saying something.
Yeah.
No, I thought you said something. My bad. He's over there eating that chicken. Maybe want to eat. Maybe want to go back to eating meat again. Pause
Boy,
that.
getting down over there too, boy.
That joint almost took him out. I saw that face when he came back. It almost took him out. That
Mm-hmm.
was that panic face, man. But yeah, fellas.
I had to get off my chest real quick, man, because I saw so much stuff about everybody's tired about, Patrick Mahomes and these teams winning stuff, and I'm like, y'all ain't probably never won nothing in your life. That's why you can't relate, and so you hate. That's just natural what people do. Stuff they don't understand and they never witnessed. What's the
It was a
first
great
natural
game.
instinct? The first natural instinct is to hate on it. They don't try to understand it. They don't try to congratulate. Their natural instinct is to hate.
Right.
That's what people do. Unless it's their team and we cool. We can win every year. But if somebody else is doing it, no, everybody get participation trophies. I'm tired of seeing the same quarterback every year and blah, 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 whatever. I'm a fan.
He's just that good. That's really what
I'm
it
a
is.
fan.
Good.
Yeah,
He's
like,
that
what
good.
you want the man to do? What you want him to do? Hey, look, man, we don't won 3 of the last 4. I'm just going, we just going to go out here and just kind of toss the ball around this season. We really not going to try. Matter of fact, I'm just going to sit out. I know y'all pay me a lot of money, but I'm not even going to, this team got an
Patrick Mahomes will
investment.
retire right now. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes,
If he
Oh
that's
yeah,
retired
true.
right
yeah.
now,
I
Oh
agree.
yeah.
first ballot Hall of
But
Famer.
this team, I want people to understand something right quick though. They made a huge investment in Patrick Mahomes to
Half a
do
billion,
exactly what he's doing, win championships.
half a
He
billion.
he is not the highest quarterback, the highest paid quarterback in the league for no reason. The man has earned his money. He's continuing to earn his money.
Yeah.
He went on a Super Bowl. He's gonna be done outplayed his damn contract, and his
Yeah.
contract ain't even halfway through his term yet. They're gonna have to sign him and extend him, for some more years, for some
It
more
just kicked
money.
in what? His contract just kicked in what? A year or two ago, didn't it?
Yeah,
His
they
big
just I think
contract.
like 2 years ago they made
Yeah.
this deal.
Well,
But
we
this
got
man done
that's
won
who we got
two
in
Super
Carolina,
Bowls.
baby. That's who we got in Carolina now as our EVP. So I'm happy about that, Brent Tills. So we about to get some of that cat magic they working over there.
We'll see.
We set up like the 49ers front office. That's we hired the same firm that hired their whole front office. So hopefully that
Interesting.
makes a difference. We got Dan
Well, I
Morgan and
think
Brett Tills.
I think y'all will have a better season next year. I don't know how many wins y'all gonna have. It's gonna be more than one or
12
two or
wins.
however many y'all win.
We're getting 12 wins next
I
year.
don't know about 12. It'll probably be somewhere between 12 and 2.
N- Now you got me excited.
they,
He said between 12 and 2. Golly. Golly.
It'll be
taking
somewhere between. It ain't gonna be as little as it was this year,
they
but it'll
taking a
definitely
driving class
y'all
Dre.
y'all
Trey,
y'all yeah,
between
you
12 and
too.
2.
Well, it'll be somewhere between 2 and 12 wins. Damn it.
Hey, you got me excited. I wouldn't mind going to see Bryce versus Patrick Mahomes in Germany next year.
Hey, go
I don't
ahead,
get that
brother.
was a home game for us. We was both he was coming to Carolina, but now we gotta go to Germany. So
Hey, Brandon, quick
yeah,
side note.
what's up?
Tell your kids when they do an assignment, put their first and last name on shit.
Oh no, they just
Oh
do.
Lord, what done happened?
I got 3 Kaylas in my goddamn class. Ain't none of them put their last name.
I like
At
about to
least
say
the
somebody put
initial.
they.
At
I thought
least
he
the
was gonna say
initial.
somebody put their nickname on their paper or something like a little proof.
Well, no, nickname is cool because I know their nickname, but that's just a quick
It-
side note. Teacher
It's like
First and
problem.
last name.
all the Brandons we had in school. I would just put Brandon on there.
Yeah. And you probably did that shit.
Confuse people out there.
Of course.
I
Of
can't
course.
I can't get away with that shit.
Yeah, you
Trey,
got
I
a
know
unique
Tia
name.
know what I'm talking about.
I put my first name on there. They already know who I am. Nobody else got that name.
Right.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. We got the draft. We got the combine. We got baseball. We got basketball. We're gonna talk
I'm
about
excited about
WWE. The Rock
baseball.
is coming back to the ring. Um,
Hey, shout out to WWE by the way. This
that
storyline
press
they got
conference.
going right now with The Rock. Yeah, the press conference, man. Oh my God, cinema. Larry, we
That
get a
smack
chance,
her
go
across
watch
the
it,
world.
brother.
Hey,
Go watch it, brother.
I
ain't
got you.
WrestleMania in Philly? Ain't it in Philly this year?
I
It's
think
in
so.
Philly.
I wouldn't mind going to WrestleMania too.
I was talking to my wife about that earlier.
I rather go
Not
to
not today, but yesterday, and I was talking about, yeah, that's anybody like a 4 or 5 hour drive. I wouldn't mind going up there, And she was asking about ticket prices and stuff, and I was like, it's not as expensive as you think.
It's like $200, ain't it?
Definitely not like a Super Bowl expensive,
Yeah.
but
But they do
it,
they sell out quick though? You got to get them like
no,
years in
you can
advance.
probably still get tickets. It ain't like how it used to be. They'll have tickets available the day of, I'm sure.
Oh.
But yeah, you probably go in there and find you a little something, something right now. Yeah, it's a short
Uh,
drive away.
April 6th in Philly. You get the 2 day
You
combo.
Usually the first weekend in April, they have it Saturday, Sunday.
If you want to sit next to the ring at F7, this is right next to the ring, across from where they walk out at.
Mhm.
It's gonna be $7,000 for a 2 day
Woo.
ticket. If you want to sit in the bottom row, left side of the ring, that's $5,000. If you want to sit by where they walk down at, $5,000. Um, dang. If you just want to get in there, $635 is looking like. I thought the tickets were cheaper than that. Oh, these
Me
verified
too.
resales.
Maybe it
They
was
gonna
just
get
the
you ahead.
package. I was looking at some packages online. It was like
This
they had like
Ticketmaster, so they may not even have the ticket, so we might have to look somewhere else.
they had a whole they had like hotel bundle. They had like weekend shows and
Yeah,
stuff. Because WrestleMania, like them 2 days is the actual show, but that whole week prior they have stuff going on like meet and greets, interview panels, like other activities, comic cons. They got a bunch of stuff going on the entire week. People go out there, they'll spend a whole week in the city and just go to different events leading up to the show. And I saw some packages on the WWE website where it wasn't really
That
crazy
bad.
expensive. They kind of combined some of those events together. It was like packages for like two people though, and you got to enjoy like a weekend or 3 or 4 day tour in this whatever city they were in, doing like different events, and then actually going to the show. You got tickets for the Monday Night Raw afterwards because they hold the Monday Night Raw in the same city. But obviously, it would be like in the Wells Fargo Center where the Sixers play. Will
All
be
right,
in
I
a
found some
football
different
stadium.
ones. I'm sorry. It's so I think Ticketmaster didn't have like StubHub got them. You can get in 866. You sitting beside the ring. 3,000. You sitting beside the ring, and then to get in is probably about 336, 272. This is very top row. 211, 207, 249, 365. So it ain't that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
But we got NBA
Not
All
too
Star Weekend
bad.
coming up this week too.
That's right. Who in the dunk contest? I wouldn't even watch that no more.
It's gonna be Mac McClung, Jaime Jaquez Jr., the rookie from Miami, is gonna be in it.
They
Okay.
Jalen Brown from Boston. That kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't even know he like was dunking
I
like
hope he
that.
can dunk with his left hand.
And then
That's fucked up.
and then Jacob Toppin from New York.
Okay.
Those are the four participants in the dunk contest. My money's
Oh, they
probably
got the
gonna be on.
HBCU Classic. Winston-Salem State versus Virginia Union, 2 o'clock.
Oh,
Okay.
you see if
And then you
Mac
got
McClung can repeat as a dunk champion.
Steph versus Sabrina.
Yep, we got that whole thing going. I don't even know who all was in the 3-point shootout this year. I think
I
I
got
heard
it
I
right
saw
here.
Donovan Mitchell's in it. I think
You got
Mark
Malik
Cannon
Beasley, Jalen
from
Brunson,
Utah.
Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Laurie Markkinen, Donovan Mitchell,
Yep.
Karl Anthony Towns, and Trey Young.
Okay, I'll be interested.
And then Slam Dunk, you got it already. You hit that on the head. And then what else? The skills challenge, you have Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, and Miles Turner for the Pacers. Team top picks Paolo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, and Victor Wembanyama. And team all stars is Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, and Trey Young.
Mm.
Mm, interesting mix right there.
The G League up next game. They got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, NBA All Star Weekend is another thing I want to be able to get to
Yeah.
go to.
I don't get why if they figured out a way if you could do NHL, NFL, Super Bowl week, NBA, all in like a well, it's all the 3 week span, but kind of like maybe combine it somehow. I don't know if you would want to do the Super Bowl, but maybe like Pro Bowl and NBA and all that kind of stuff. Combine it somehow to like a whole sports weekend. Never mind. Tickets probably be $8 million.
That's what I'm saying. That's too
Yeah,
much. That's
you
too
got to
much for me.
Tickets be eight
you have
million
to
dollars.
since people have to pick and choose, probably wouldn't even be able to go to all those events.
Yeah, tickets be 8 million. But yeah, hey, this is a nice little. You had the Pro Bowl, the Super Bowl, then you got NBA All Star Weekend, and then I
God
think the
damn.
following weekend is the Combine, ain't it? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Combine. Well, or weekend. Yeah, it might be the week next week. That's the last weekend in February. So yep. And then the new year, we 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away from the new league start. New year, new league year start. So
Oh yeah, I'm ready because Jerry said we all in, so we're gonna see. Because the Cowboys traditionally don't do nothing in that first wave of free agency. They just let all the big stars go to everybody else, and then they go and get bargain basement deals and hire guys. Like they go get Martavis Bryant, who ain't played in 5 years, and then sign him to a deal in training camp. That's what they do in free agency every year. They find dudes that ain't played in years, and like, oh God, he's gonna be nice. And then
hey,
they let Martavis Bryant go, and they cut him. Never even made it up to
and,
the main roster.
and y'all had
Come on,
a
Nelson.
D Hop said I
Come
was
on.
ready.
Come on. Come on.
Well, all right, fellas. That's
All
that's
right,
been a
y'all. Appreciate
that's
it.
been another one. Thank y'all tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode, episode 20. We are 20
Yeah,
episodes
yeah,
in. We
yeah.
appreciate all the support. We about to hit it hard. We got draft, NBA, MLB, like we were saying, WWE. Uh, it's sports season is starting all over again. It seems like it's starting.
Yes,
It's
sir.
ramping back up all over again.
Oh yes, I'm excited. Excited. Ready for baseball season. The Yankees come to Baltimore twice. They come to DC. Excited.
Everybody know all roads lead to Boston.
For Boston Celtics, we talking about
Boston Red
baseball.
Sox, baby. Boston
Baseball.
Red Sox. Come on now.
No,
Boston
he
Red
did.
Sox.
He think he knew what he was doing.
Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox,
Well,
baby.
all right, fellas, my phone about to die, so I will get at
Yeah.
y'all next season or whenever.
Next season. He said next
Next
season.
season. We got an
All right, man. We'll see you next season.
podcast.
All right, my boy.
All right. Trigger. Football season
Sir.
over.
Yep.
NBA season's halfway done. MLB about to start. So
Yep. It's
yeah,
gonna be a fun time. Fun
it
time.
is. It is. It is. So thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Be wise.
I'm Trigger.
Holla holla.
Peace.
And chicken grease.